Here are 10 must-eat cheesesteaks when you go to Philadelphia. Let me tell you why. Cheesesteaks are synonymous with Philly, and I've been on a 3-year journey trying to eat as many as I can so I can come up with the definitive list of what you need to try when you're in the city. I think I'm done. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what spots I absolutely missed. And make sure you're a sub so you don't miss one bite. Videos coming soon from Vegas, Miami, Italy, and my hometown of New York City. Plus, brand new merch, brand new newsletter, and a brand new podcast, all linked below if you ever want to dive deeper into my food adventures. In the South Philly gas station parking lot, you will find Little Sisly Pizza too. At first glance, it kind of just looks like any old pizza place in Philly that has cheesesteaks and other sandwiches. But as you approach the register, you see this little placard that says spicy food menu. This is where the magic happens. I got the spicy beef cheesesteak with mayo, onion, cilantro, and got medium. At legit Indian places, you better worry if they have an extra spicy option.
The bread feels really good. Oh, so what medium on the heat? You just never know what they mean by that. Happy that it did, because it is a nice burn. I'm already sweating. I could have handled the bigger heat, but this feels really nice. The aromatics coming off it were great. It's just like this really delicate bite. Like a little pop of freshness in there too, but still getting the beef, still getting that cheese, still getting what you want out of a cheesecake. Maybe not like as over the top crazy, but honestly it's such a more interesting flavor profile than basically every other cheesesteak I've ever had. Wow. Yes, excellent. Must come here. Love it.
John's Roast Pork has been open since 1930, and obviously the roast pork is a classic too, but don't forget about their cheesesteak. They make every sandwich to order with 12 ounces of a loin-tail cut of steak and fried Spanish onions with white American cheese oozing out of it as it's added to the meat and onions on the grill, so it's totally mixed in, rather than just putting it on top. And then that whole thing is loaded up on a sesame seed roll delivered fresh from Karen G Baking Company.
Oh, it's hitting everything you want it to hit. Really nice tender beef, great beef flavor coming through, little bits of onions in there, oozing cheese. The bread is really great too, more on the softer side, but still holding the whole thing together. It's those little simple, beautiful ingredients that make it all cool. And I love it out here. We're in the middle of nowhere. I like that this is where I'm sitting, and I like I'm just on a random bench. I like that there's just like trucks, construction things, and all these other things happening. It adds to the experience.
Newer on the scene is Del Rosi's Cheesesteak and Pizza Co., and they definitely have some great pizza.
The pizzas did look so good. I was like, I've eaten so much today, and they convinced me I had to try the pizza. It's on a sourdough crust. These do look great. Wow. Look at the under. Sauce is actually a little sweet, which I really enjoyed. It is very thin. So you're getting like a nice little crust crunch and like just a little chew. Good, like, I say mouthfeel all the time. Good, like, tooth feel, which is interesting.
But as of this summer, they started selling their cheesesteaks on their own house-made rolls, and just wow. French baguette style, covered in sesame seeds. To me, bread makes the biggest difference in this sandwich, and this is a game changer.
Ooh, this looks good. Oh my God. The bread looks incredible. Wow. And look at the cheese pouring out of it. Whoa. That bread is so unbelievably good. So crusty. Love the sesame seeds. Really great shoot of crunch. Soft in the middle, and holding together a great balance of meat, cheese, onions, and that ooze factor. Damn, it's good. Oh my God. Absolutely crushing it. I think like a nice mix also of still getting enough texture in that beef, but having the ooze. Like I said, you want a little ooze. You want a little ooze. Wow.
This was all so good. I even ate the leftovers cold for breakfast the next morning. I wouldn't have thought that an old school Jewish deli diner would have the best cheesesteaks, yet here I am at famous 4th Street Delicatessen. This is the type of restaurant I dream of, and one that sadly New York City is seeing less and less of. I wanted to fill up on Jewish classics, specifically their pastrami sandwich looked incredible, but when the waitress warned me about the portion sizes, I had to control myself. First up, some matzo ball soup.
It's like the biggest matzo ball I've ever seen in my entire life. Gotta love a matzo ball. The broth is really nice. It has like little lemony notes, not over salted, so it has like real like chicken flavor in it. This is some of the best matzo ball soup I've ever had.
And then the cheesesteak, 14 inches long, and massive portions of the steak, onions, and American cheese, all living inside of this toasted hoagie roll.
This thing is a monster. Oh my God. And holy shit, look how big it is. Okay, we're gonna attempt to take a bite out of this. Here we go. What I really love in there is the texture. Sometimes it could be just sort of like one big mushiness, but you're getting nice pieces of beef, you're getting really nice caramelized onions, and the cheese oozing out. Beef flavor coming through, nice sweetness from the onions, ooze of cheese. And this bread is fantastic too. This is really good. I mean, it's massive. It's gigantic. It is too much for anybody to try and eat. But I'm so into this. Bread is so nice and crusty and so soft in the middle. I feel like I've taken 6 bites and I haven't even made a dent in the sandwich.
Yish found a place in my heart when I found out that it's Yiddish for, do I look like I care? While they're probably more well known for their chicken cheesesteak, to keep it consistent, I went with the traditional. And just so you know, they actually have a second location that's bigger and you can sit down and eat there too, so that's where I went.
What's so interesting about the cheesesteak is like, it's almost more about the bread than anything else. This bread is really nice. Really nice and soft. Not a lot of crunch on the outside, but it's such a nice vessel for meat and onions and cheese. Just to ooze through, and also to like, because it's softer, it comes together in this one perfect, luscious bite. Meat's chopped really, really thinly here too. And it's like steaming hot, which I appreciate. Low thrills, but I think that's the joy of the cheesesteak, you know?
Row Home Coffee might be another spot where you wouldn't think to get a cheesesteak, as it's a cute cafe. But I love the idea that their unique spin puts it on another Philly classic, the soft pretzel.
So I've never actually been actively teaching while
It does have a nice pretzel chew, which I enjoy. There's like a little bit more on the mushier side, which again is more preference. I think I like a little bit more texture in there. But okay, if you're good for a little bit mush, it's good. Points for being unique. When you're in Philadelphia, get a pretzel, you know? I also appreciate that it's not 10 pounds of food. I like the size of it. I think I want a little bit more pretzel. Like, give me a little bit more salt. Give me, even though the chew is nice, give me like a little bit more of a crust on there, and then you're fine. But I'm into this like Philadelphia mashup.
I think next time I really want to try their breakfast sandwiches on a pretzel bun instead though. The #1 Philly cheesesteak spot everyone told me I missed was JYM South Street. And unfortunately, the reason for that was because of a fire that closed gyms for over 2 years. But they are back and bigger than ever, expanding into next door gallery and retaining this beautiful mosaic artwork. But the cheesesteak itself was also a piece of art.
This looks so unbelievably good. What I really appreciate is the first thing coming through is like strong beef flavor, and then coating your mouth is the cheese, a little bit of onion, bread holding it all together. Really good consistency too. This is fantastic. There is a magic about it, and it's good. A couple things to keep in mind. It is cash only, which is a big annoyance for me personally. So bring cash, you'll be ready. Like, I have an ATM in there, but I personally don't carry an ATM card on me ever, and I don't carry cash on me ever. So this is actually day 2 that I came here, because I came here yesterday, and there was the Chase ATM a few blocks away, and I could use like Apple Pay on that. So I went there, and then the screen is broken, I couldn't get cash, and I was beyond frustrated. So don't make that same mistake, and you'll be fine. So quirks of an old school restaurant like this.
Newer on the Philly sandwich scene is Woodrose. They are adding their own elevated spin to this classic, with shaved ribeye steak getting caramelized onions, a cherry pepper mayo, and a truffle whiz with 4 different types of cheese.
All right, this one came out steaming and oozing.
Oh my god.
This is definitely like the juiciest cheesesteak I've ever had. Sometimes you're just like on the grill, there's a cooking in a way where it becomes a little dry, where you sort of need that cheese and onions to add a little bit more moisture to it. Yo, this beef is dripping. Whoa. And like really nice peppery flavors in there too. And I like this bread. It is more of like a soft texture experience to the whole thing, but that's pretty damn good. Oof. There's like a little bit of heat in there too that's coming through. That's really nice. It's a messy one, but that's okay.
Bummed I didn't get the fries. That's for next time. D'Alessandro's opened in 1960 and has been slinging some of the best cheesesteaks for over 60 years. Be prepared for a little bit of a wait, but I promise it's worth it.
I mean, oh my god, this thing is massive. By far, just absolutely loaded with so much beef, with so much onions, with so much cheese. And the meat is so tender. It just blends in to that cheese where it becomes a new thing. It's one whole bite with that cheese and that beef combined together. Oh, I don't know if the bread is the star of this show necessarily. To hold that much stuff in there, you're doing work. You're doing work as that bread. Wow.
So before we get to my personal favorite, let's reflect on what I've learned. I feel like there are 3 categories of cheesesteak spots: old school, fun twists, and then new school. And as far as what makes the best, beef quality for sure, that ooze mouthfeel factor, but truly to me, it's the bread. And that leads to my favorite in the city. Angel's Pizzeria might be more known for the pizza, but it's a huge mistake to go and not order cheesesteak as well. Piled onto their freshly made bread every single day, this one is special. Just make sure to call and order ahead of time and bring cash.
Oh, the meat is nice and tender. You got the whiz pouring out, but what makes this one so special is the bread. The bread is made in-house daily. It's crusty, it's soft, it's just a perfect vessel for this sandwich. Oh my God. I was like, I'll take one bite. Hell no, this rocks.
If you made it this far, sub would be great because I go on food adventures all over the world. Let me know in the comments where I should eat next, and here are a few other spots I think you'd love.